Hello everybody and welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage. Today what you are seeing in front of you is a table. Some of you had asked if I would ever get around to finishing work on this table. This table holds a 201 that is now available for a new owner. But remember, you guys saw me before when I was showing the Howard's Restore finish and how it really made a difference. But before I could do the other end of the table lid, I wanted to see if I could repair the veneer. I've never done it before, and so we'll take a look. Now what you're looking at is, you see painter's tape, scissors, a wooden utensil from the kitchen, and paper towels. What I did was I took one of those half paper towel strips, so it was like that, and then I simply marked it here with a pencil, and I cut out the piece of paper towel so that I could lay it nice and taut across the little area where there's a gap. And of course, where the veneer is missing, I wanted to be able to see if I could emboss that and use the paper towel as a way to trace the shape and size of the missing veneer. Now, I didn't have any tracing paper. If you have vellum or tracing paper, even wax paper, I don't know if wax paper from your kitchen might work or not. Anyway, I didn't have those, and I thought, well, I'll try this. So I wanted to be able to push on the edges of where the veneer is missing to make an outline. I tried this wooden spoon. It didn't really work all that well, and because what I'm doing is I'm pushing down and then pulling against the side of where the veneer is missing. That didn't quite work out all that well, so I took a pair of scissors and I pressed down and then sort of this way toward my left, and that was the scissor. Just doing this very carefully. It's pushing against the edge, and you can see the outline of the missing veneer is beginning to show. Now, I may have this paper towel a little longer than I need. That's okay. I can always trim it up. I don't want my piece of veneer that I'm going to try to create, I don't want it to come up short. That would not be pleasant. And I have this other little area over here I'm going to do as well with the same method, but I thought I'd start here. Now I'm going to take a pencil, now that I've got my outline. Let's see if I can zoom in a little more for you guys. And as long you want the paper towel, by the way, you use the painter's tape so it won't damage the surface. You pull the painter's tape up very carefully, and it shouldn't leave any glue or anything. But I wanted it so that the paper towel was as flat as possible, because I don't want it to move when I'm going to basically take a pencil, and I'm going over the area where I had pushed in with the end of the scissors there. And that's one outline. I'm using pencil. I'm using pencil for several reasons. A, I don't want ink to transfer through the paper towel and get on the finish of my table. Now, this is kind of hard to show, but I'll maybe start at the bottom on this one. And you might want to kind of put your fingers and trace behind where the pencil is going to kind of help keep the paper towel flat, right? Most paper of any kind has a little tension in it, and you want to be sure that that's not an issue. Okay, so now I've sort of outlined, maybe this was not a number 2 pencil after all, sort of outlined where it is I think I want to trace, or where I'm tracing, right? And so I'm going to turn the camera around. You guys can see what I'm working with here. Okay, let's angle down. You can see that. Now what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this out, and then I'll test it against the actual open space to make sure that I don't need to adjust this, well, for lack of a better word, paper tracing anymore, because that is what I'm going to use to measure for my laminate. Make sure you guys can keep seeing what I'm doing here. Now, I'm going to very carefully take this painter's tape up. Painter's tape is great about not sticking to to a surface permanently. However, remember, as I mentioned in some of the early videos, we've got some edging where a lot of times veneer, if it has a problem, it will sometimes begin its problems in terms of flaking off at the edges. So I'm going to pull this way so I don't get any of that unhappy with me. Okay, let's see this. Now, I've basically got my tracing here. I'm going to make some room from, I'm actually going to go ahead and start cutting. And I'll cut, the pencil went right up against the edge of the missing veneer layer. And I think I'm just going to cut right over the pencil mark. I was debating on whether I should cut, you know, on the outside or the inside, but let me just trace it with the scissors. And if you don't get it perfect, don't worry, you can always adjust things later, because you'll see if you're missing a spot. It's a little awkward because I've got this painter's tape and I really want to pull it off, but I may tear the paper towel, so that's why I look a little hesitant there, because it's sticking to my fingers. And again, we're not going to cut any veneer until we've tested the trace here. I'm going to put it down inside where the veneer is going to go. And here, I'm going to come over and trim the other side. And keep in mind, if for some reason you're doing this and you mess it up, you screw it up, that's not a problem. You can start over. You know, it's not like you're using a paper towel here. It's not like you had to pay $50 for a kit or something. In fact, I only paid $15 or $16 for that wonderful assortment of veneers. I was kind of surprised it was that cheap. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. Now, I'm going to take my little tracing and see what it looks like. Make sure we have it. It's easy to forget which side was right side up. Okay, turn it back over. I think this is the right side. And if you look at what I'm doing here, I'm basically going to take my tracing and I'm going to line it up. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but there is some play, not much. There's just a little bit of play in that spot, but it's not too terrible. Let's zoom in a little bit and you can see a little bit more. So it's not perfect, but it's close. And if I err, I want to err on the side of making it just slightly smaller. So maybe you have a hairline space, because you've got to have some room to get the new piece in there. And if I do that, that will give me room. Once I get the new piece of veneer cut and installed, I can come back with a filler to hide that crack, right? And that's okay. I'm not really worried about it because it's not a deep crack at all. And you know, there's, like I say, there's a little bit of edging. I see one piece here that's kind of sticking out. Probably trim that a little bit, and if I can remember where it was, there it is right there. I mean, it's so tiny and minuscule, it may not even matter. Okay, so there we go. I have gotten my sort of tracing cut out here, and there you have it. Now the next step I'm going to do, and I'll do this in the next video, I'm going to bring out the veneer and I'm going to trace my shape over the veneer, and then we'll see about cutting it. I don't know how many videos I'm going to break this up into, but I wanted you guys to kind of see this veneer. By the way, I purposely waited. I haven't put any of the Howards on this end, just on the other side, because I want to get this done. The Howards product has oils in it, and I want this wood here to be more willing to accept the contact cement I'm going to use. And anytime you have oils, stains, paints can always interfere with glues, or even putting more paint on top. So you don't want anything oily here when you're getting ready to glue or get something to adhere. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and then I'll get set up for the next installment. I'll be getting the veneer out and I'll show you how I do that. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next installment.